Hola, buenos noches, and good evening. This is your weekly news report, and I'm your host, Pedro. A Florida woman alleged to have opened fire on Rihanna's Los Angeles home with an AR-15-style rifle was charged Tuesday with attempted murder, prosecutors said. Ivana Ortiz, 35, was also charged with 10 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm and 3 felony counts of shooting at an inhabited dwelling or camper, according to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. Special allegations that can be used in sentencing were also tacked on to each count. They included personal discharge of a firearm and use of a firearm. District Attorney Nathan Hochman said the charges are connected to 10 victims. Rihanna, partner Rocky, their 3 children, their 3 household staff members, and 2 people at home at a neighboring residence also targeted in the attack. Ortiz's arraignment was scheduled for later this month at a court hearing. Tuesday, Hochman said. Her bail was set at $1.875 million, and she faces life in prison if she is convicted. A motive was still under investigation. The shooting Sunday afternoon outside the home in the Beverly Crest community of Los Angeles was carried out with an AR-15-style semi-automatic rifle, Los Angeles police said. Automatic license plate recognition helped lead police to Ortiz, whom officers found over the hill in Sherman Oaks behind the wheel of a white Tesla. Inside the vehicle were an AR-15-style rifle, spent casings, and a blonde wig, McDonald said. In the trunk were additional ammunition and a 30-round magazine, he said. Now here's Rafa with our next top story.
The International Energy Agency said Wednesday that member countries had unanimously agreed to release 400 million barrels of oil from their reserves in a bid to ease prices that are soaring due to the Iran war. The United States will contribute 172 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve starting next week, the U.S. Department of Energy said Wednesday evening. It will take approximately 120 days to deliver based on planned discharge rates, the department said in a statement on the release. Following the initial IEA announcement, U.S. crude oil prices briefly fell to lows of the day on news of the potential for fresh supply. But they quickly climbed higher and once again had surpassed $90 per barrel by late Wednesday. The market moves. Wednesday were a sign of real concerns about a longer conflict, despite President Donald Trump's assurances this week that the U.S.-Israeli war in Iran would be over soon. Since the war began, U.S. crude oil prices are up more than 30%. Retail gas prices have risen more than 50 cents to a national average of around $3.57 per gallon. As of mid-February, Energy Department data shows that the U.S. has a total of more than 415 million barrels of various types of crude oil sitting in the National Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Historically, they said, emergency releases have peaked around 1.4 million barrels per day. They added that it could be helpful, but that pace would not materially ease a 16 million barrels per day shortfall and would likely provide only initial relief. Now, we send it back to Pedro for our next top story.
The U.S. economy, hobbled by last fall's 43-day government shutdown, advanced at a sluggish 0.7% annual rate from October through December, the Commerce Department reported Friday in a big downgrade of its initial estimate. Growth in gross domestic product, the nation's output of goods and services, was down sharply from 4.4% in last year's third quarter and 3.8% in the second. And the fourth quarter number was half the government's first estimate of 1.4%. Economists had expected the revision to go the other way and show stronger growth. Federal government spending and investment, clobbered by the shutdown, plunged at a 16.7% rate, hacking 1.16 percentage points off fourth quarter growth. The U.S. economy, the world's largest, has shown surprising resilience in the face of President Donald Trump's policies, including sweeping import taxes and mass deportations. But the war with Iran has driven up oil and gas prices and clouded the economic outlook. Meanwhile, the American job market is in a slump. Last month, companies, nonprofits, and government agencies cut 92,000 jobs. In 2025, they added fewer than 10,000 jobs a month, the weakest hiring outside recession years since 2002.
Hello, I'm your chief meteorologist, Ariana, with a look at your weather forecast for the week ahead. A highly amplified upper-level flow pattern will be in place across the continental U.S. for the coming week. A low-pressure system lifting north across eastern Canada, with a trailing cold front exiting the New England region on Tuesday, will bring an upper trough with a cold air mass towards the end of the week. A cold air mass will move into the Great Lakes region by midweek with temperatures feeling more like January than mid-March, along with the cold air mass. A few inches of additional snow from lake effect bands is possible through Tuesday evening before tapering off Wednesday morning. Summer is arriving early for the later part of the week for the southwestern deserts region as a large expanse of a massive upper ridge building throughout the week. Temperatures will be increasing significantly throughout the week for the entire region, and a numerous amount of daily records will be shattered for many cities in the southwestern deserts region nearly every day this week. The earliest triple-digit temperature readings on record will happen mid to late week for several lower elevation cities, making it feel more like mid-July. Now, here's a look at your 7-day forecast for the Phoenix, Arizona area. The week will start with unseasonably warm temperatures with highs in the 90s. Temperatures will skyrocket to a mind-boggling 108 degrees by next week and the earliest triple-digit temperatures on record. Low temperatures will be pleasant with lows in the mid to upper 60s throughout the week. Now we send it back to Pedro.
That will do it for this week's weekly news report. As always, thank you for watching and have a great week. Como siempre, gracias por ver el video y que tengáis una buena semana.